Imagine this. It's 1850, California. No police you can really trust. No real courts, just muddy streets, canvas tents, and a rumor that the ground is full of gold. You go to sleep with a fortune in your hands. You wake up with nothing because what was legal yesterday is suddenly abandoned today. Think you know the California gold rush? Think again. Getting rich back then wasn't just about finding gold, it was about surviving a maze of rules so bizarre. They sound fake today. Rules that decided who owned the river, who owned the land, and who could literally be voted out of town at gunpoint. Today we're digging up the forgotten laws of the gold rush, the ones so insane, yet so real they changed people's lives overnight. Forget the school book version of the gold rush. This wasn't just a race to find gold, it was a race to invent rules. Before greed turned everything violent. Because back then the law didn't arrive first, people did. And they had to figure out how to live together before everything collapsed. Towns could appear in days, thousands of strangers, different countries, different languages. Same goal, gold. Government, too far, too slow, pretty much useless. So mining camps made their own rules. They held meetings in the open, they created codes, they formed courts by literally standing in a circle, not because they were noble, but because without rules, nobody could dig in peace. They wanted total freedom, but to keep gold, they needed order. So one brutal idea took over. If the community recognizes it, it's law. If they don't, it isn't. Half democracy, half survival instinct. That was justice. Picture a miner. He's been digging the same spot for days, hands torn up, hope keeping him alive. He leaves to buy supplies, just for a bit. When he returns, someone else is in his hole, in his spot, calm, smiling, like they own it. This isn't just a fight over dirt. It's a fight over time, over presence, over whether the camp believes he ever truly owned it. Because in many camps, a claim wasn't real property. It was a right to use the land, only while you were actually working it. Leave too long? Someone else might take it. And settling disputes? Not always with guns. Most of the time the camp judged you. A miner's court, a vote, a verdict, lose the case, and you didn't just lose the gold. You lost your future. You might be expelled, blacklisted, forced out, no paperwork, no appeal, just a crowd pointing one direction. Go. Gold needs water. A lot of it. So who owned the water? The man by the stream? Or the man who got there first, built a ditch, and carried the water miles away? The camps made a decision that changed Western law forever. First in time, first in right. You used it first, it was yours, even if someone downstream watched their river disappear. Courts later agreed, and that rule still shapes the American West today. But back then, it created chaos. Stealing water became a crime, sometimes violent, sometimes quiet. Just one cut in a ditch, in the middle of the night. Because in the gold rush, water wasn't nature, water was money. You're walking past a small cabin, there's a garden, someone's food, someone's life. Then you realize there's gold under it. In any normal world, digging there would be insane, but the gold rush wasn't normal. In some mining districts, you could claim a mining right inside someone's garden, as long as you paid damages. The law didn't say, don't touch my garden. It basically said, okay, dig it. Just pay me afterward. Because so much land had unclear ownership, people treated possession as proof, labor as ownership, and a posted notice, what like a legal deed. It was reality, built on uncertainty. And when law is unclear, people stop asking permission. They start asking, who's backing me up? The owner wasn't always the man with documents. Sometimes it was the man with the crowd. And then finally, the government arrived, not to protect, but to charge. California created a tax on foreign miners. You paid just for not being American. At one point, $20 a month. Crippling for most miners, especially Chinese miners, who were targeted the hardest. These weren't just weird laws, they were weaponized ones. Laws that decided who stayed and who was forced out. Here's the part nobody talks about. A lot of modern Western law still carries gold rush DNA. Mining customs shaped property law. Water fights shaped water law. And the battle between community power and written law, that never really went away. The gold rush didn't just create millionaires, it created a blueprint. When the system can't keep up, people make their own rules, sometimes smart, sometimes brutal, often both. So here's the question. Did we really leave the Wild West behind? Or did we just trade shovels and pistols for paperwork and lawsuits while staying exactly the same underneath? If you want part two, the darker laws, the stranger rules, and the stories people tried to erase, tell me in the comments. What's the craziest real law you've ever heard of?